Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and today we're going to be summarizing the Around the Verse from March 2nd, and while we did have a happy hour from Friday, it is mainly focused on the history behind Roberts and kind of what led to Star Citizen coming about. So jumping into Around the Verse, Tony Z is in LA to work on the gameplay mechanics for the persistent universe, including the development of a nice tool that's really focused on significantly decreasing the time it takes to program the AI's behaviors. He also went on to talk about how the shopping and mission systems are actually very tied together, and when inventory for something in a shop is low, missions are going to end up being handed to players to help them bring back stock or, impact the game in other various ways. In the studio update, we find out that they're currently working on the final polishing for the Bearing and Klaus & Warner weapons, as well as developing a new Castak Arms double-barreled shotgun, which should be interesting since that brand focuses on firepower and low cost. Speaking of weapons, the ship's weapons team are working to really finish up a new pipeline and developing new modularity for ship weapons, which is focused on things like upgrades. The team working on the planet-side buildings have almost finished up with their 3 core types of surface outpost, with those being mining, storage, and hydroponics, all of which are going to be able to be configured in various ways, both internally and externally, and some level of interconnectivity, between those different modules. On a larger scale, they finished up their first version of their solar system editor, which is giving them greater control over the development of systems on a massive scale. So that's a good sign that they're starting to progress and work towards production on, larger scales and more varied locations. Back on the smaller scale in the Stanton system, the moons around Crusader that we see today have all had a lot of work done to them to make them feel different from each other, and their ecosystems have mostly been completed, while the team is still working to add new and interesting elements for us to go in and explore. They did go on to talk about the background of the Anvil Hurricane and the development of it, but honestly, it's all information that I covered in the Q&A review from yesterday and the day before, and the Should You Buy video. So there's not really any more details that we need to get into regarding that ship. The character design and customization piece was fairly interesting, and there are several teams that are working on getting the ability to make the character your own, with design, art, and engineering all collaborating together. Most games are going to use up to about 20 character options because that's kind of what's supported by default in CryEngine and Lumberyard. But with the item port system being applied to characters, they actually get an increased level of customization options. That's going to include things like the base head, and then you go in and you change things like your skin tone, your eyes, your hair color, and other features in more of a layering fashion. And that's going to be applied to clothing and armor as well, and kind of goes back to that zonal system that we talked about maybe a month or two ago. They did mention that while you can layer things like shirts and underwear, etc., and it doesn't really matter what you have on under your outer layers, since if you can't see it, it's not going to end up being rendered, there may be gameplay ramifications, like having to have something special under your suit if you're going to go EVA. So maybe the EVA suit's only airtight, but you need, like, I don't know, thermal underwear, to really survive in that type of situation. So it's still being developed. So that's the short version. Hopefully you guys found that interesting and helpful. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, stay tuned for a whole lot more coming soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.